The year was 1965. He was just 14 and the school was pretty far from his residence at Railway Colony in Jalandhar. Though possible and affordable, he chose not to take a ride on the cycle rickshaw as he was against a carriage being pulled by a fellow human being. So he used to cycle almost 12 kilometers daily to his school. It's been over 40 years and till date, Professor Sood's quest for knowledge continues. It continues and it has never been devoid of empathy for others. His life has been the journey of grit, passion and indomitable spirit, creating and surpassing newer boundaries in experimental science and physics per se. Born on June 26, 1951, Professor Sood spent a considerable period of his childhood in New Delhi. With 4 doting sisters and a gentle mother, Professor Sood was raised in a spiritually inclined family.
And the other one I vividly recall that when in 10th class, I got I think 13th rank, I'm not sure, around that 13th rank in the state, Punjab state. My parents wanted to gift me a watch. And the memory which I have is that at that time, HMT watch was a rarity. So I got that HMT watch, which was a prized possession for me for many years.
After the degree at DAV College in Jalandhar, Professor Sood was determined to pursue his love for physics. He enrolled for integrated MSc honours in Punjab University. The college years in Chandigarh with the toppers from the state proved most contributory in his life.
In the first year of our BSc Honours School, we had a teacher called Dr. Kushwaha, U.S. Kushwaha, and he was an extremely good teacher. We had this Berkeley volumes introduced in our course because in those Berkeley volumes, the problems are very unusual. It's not like other textbooks, and that made a really a huge impact on me in pursuing physics.
It was at the Reactor Research Centre at Kalpakkam, a small township located on the Coromandel coast in Tamil Nadu, where Professor Sood started emerging as a physicist.
We had reached Kalpakkam in 1974 and we truly loved that sea, that beautiful expansive sea. So every Sunday we used to go for swimming in the sea, though we were asked not to do that because the sea was really rough. Till one Sunday I was standing on the beach almost till my chest in water along with 8-10 friends, and a receding wave came all of a sudden and dragged me into the sea, and that receding wave was so strong that I really lost my cool and started trying to come back. Perhaps that's the first time I realized the value of life. You know, life is so precious and somehow we don't realize it and take it for granted.
After spending 2 years in Stuttgart, Germany as postdoctoral fellow, in 1988 Professor Sood joined Indian Institute of Sciences in Bangalore. It was here Professor Sood created and surpassed newer ambits of research and recognitions. In 2002, when Professor Sood and his student began experiments to analyze the effect of liquid flow in carbon nanotubes, they were hardly aware that they will end up on the path-breaking way. What emerged through Professor Sood's experiment was an exciting discovery, a new property of carbon nanotubes, which converts the mechanical energy of fluids into electrical energy. Well, what does it mean for commoners? It means that now coronary pacemakers can operate without batteries as they can be powered by the body's own blood. It means in future miniature hydroelectric power plants are possible. It means the possibility of devising manifold biomedical applications which would facilitate human life will not be a distant dream. A few years later, Professor Sood took the same experiment further and studied the effect of gas flow in carbon nanotubes. The findings earned Professor Sood manifold recognitions, and to acknowledge his contribution in the field, the discovery was named as Sood effect. Today, Professor Sood's life journey, perseverance and passion has proved to be inspiring for a number of students at the Indian Institute of Sciences.
Apart from in the academic and research part also, he has always trained us to in various aspects of life, like how to deal with other lab activities, how to be a part of a team, how to do teamwork, how to set up labs. All these aspects were very much taken care of by him.
On a personal note, the Kalpakkam stay was the most defining one in Professor Sood's life, as he married Anita, an English literature student.
We got married in October 1990. Oh, 80. We got married in 1980.
No, this was arranged marriage. And they were supposed to come after my exams, which were ending the next day. They came off one day earlier. Okay, unexpectedly. That 1 year was horrible. Like, I was almost like, I was in love with him. So I couldn't write my exams properly. It was,
And then she came to Kalpakkam along with me, where I was till 1988.
There must be something in me which he thinks yes, and I feel the same thing about him.
When we went to Germany, our daughter Aprajita, or we call her Miti, was about 3 months old.
We just finished 30 years. We celebrated our third, decade.
Actually, I have not done much for the family, because I have been so busy or so engrossed in my this life in the work. So all the family responsibilities are really handled by Anita, and she has done it very well. And she doesn't realize it, but I am sure it is a big responsibility.
When he's at home, I don't think he's a scientist. He's that big person, like, people know him. So he's really down to earth, and he's caring. He's fun loving also, but there's no time again.
Today, Professor Sood, an eminent physicist with towering achievements, is known as a multifaceted person with a wide range of interests in manifold aspects of life.
So I believe in superpower, that there is somebody who is guiding us and who is there for us. So in that sense, you can call I would put myself on the side of religious or spiritual person.
And I come from a different background, like where a lot of pujas and fasts used to happen. So, and I would, ask him to come to temple on the way to walking and all that. He said, okay, no, I'm standing outside, you can go and come back. But now it's so different. Every day he has to light the lamp and all pujas. Yes, he's very particular about pujas. So anything good happens, he says, okay, we'll do puja first. We'll thank God first,
Anita is a fabulous cook, and she tries out many things in the kitchen, and I am the guinea pig. So you can see my health, what it is. When people pose, they are very artificial. That irritates me a lot. But also Bangalore traffic irritates me a lot. I'm not deep into politics. I understand this thing, and it gives an impression there are very few good people. You feel good that country has them, but a large majority seem to be having only one aim, to be in power at whatever cost it be. Pune, a wonderful city. I only wish it will not go the way Bangalore has gone, and will still retain its old charm.
Being meticulous about his professional, personal and family life, Professor Sood still works daily for 10 hours in the lab, takes care of his personal health and always spends quality time with family members. Professor Sood believes a truly happy and successful person is one who is determined to pursue his passion, who takes delight in his work, who cares for the finer values of life and who contributes to his family, society and nation. Today, the quest of a boy who used to cycle kilometers is not yet quenched. Professor Sood's quest for knowledge continues and intensifies. It's certain that newer horizons of knowledge will be created and surpassed again.